got a guy
What a
like that that's built
shot.
like that, the 6'4", that we got to transcend and all that.
They got Jordan Davis last season. They bring Fletcher Cox back in Philly. So I'm sitting there like, we need to put something on this offensive line to combat that.
Back in Oxnard, you know what I'm saying? We finally got some footage. We got the boys back, man. Man, it's exciting, bro. We got a lot of news. And even in the past time, we got that Trayvon Diggs news. Finally got him, you know what I mean? That contract. How you feeling about that? 5 years, what is it, 100 mil? I think up to 100 mil.
Yeah, up to 100. Did the guarantees come out yet? I still ain't seen the guarantees. I'm assuming 50, 60-ish. No, that's a good deal, man. For Trayvon, I think it's fair. I know the media's probably freaking out saying we overpaid him, but that's just Cowboy haters being Cowboy haters. I think it's a fair trade, man. Or I'm sorry, a fair deal. 21 signing bonus. So really we're talking 5 years, 15 per year pretty much. It doesn't look that bad. I mean, the average doesn't really work out the way it looks with the 97 number there.
Man, I don't even care about the media for real because you know, as polarized as Trayvon Diggs is, you either on one side of the fence or you on the other side of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
The fact that we didn't have to pay him with like over the top 3 corners in this league, he kind of fell within where he is. It's not a bad deal at all. And I think we got like out at like 2025 with like no guarantees after that. So I'm pretty sure the Cowboys front loaded this thing. And no, I'm just happy to have Trayvon Diggs here. He's happy. We obviously got some other contracts to figure out. I think CD, you know, what I mean, obviously he coming up. And then we got the elephant in the room that we didn't even know was in the room. You know what I'm saying? Zack Martin just popped up, you know what I mean, wanting to try contract right before training camp. So I mean that's kind of crazy. He didn't show up obviously today. We didn't know if it would be a real thing, but I think the Cowboys kind of get on that right away. You know what I mean?
No, I think that's literally the elephant in the room. That's a big man. Zach, Zach Martin. No, they're gonna get that figured out, man. And it makes sense too. If you look at the market, he's severely underpaid based off of where he sits, man. I think Zach Martin in the NFL is easily top 25 player, but I could argue top 10. Like Zach Martin's up there, man.
Yeah.
You
And then
can't just
lineman in the league, I mean, he's top 5, top. It depends where you want to put him, how you view tackles, guards. Definitely the best guard in the league, but I mean, the guy hasn't allowed a sack in however long. He doesn't allow pressures. Shit, I think he had that crazy stat where it's like he's had less holding calls than pressures or something like that. I don't know.
that's crazy.
You know what I mean? The guy's a beast. But I mean, I think it is good, you know what I mean? If anybody that doesn't need to be there, you know what I mean? We know Zach Martin can show up and be who he is. It doesn't even matter. He can show up at any given time. We got some young guys who's willing to step in. They'll get the reps they need. But I do think they'll sort that out soon. I don't really think it's nothing that we need to talk about. But I think we're talking about it now, obviously, because he ain't there. And it's weird seeing a guy like that not been in the building.
Right.
Been a leader he is, and obviously, you know, captain of the team. So, hey, Zach, we need you, bro. Hey, get back out here. We like to see you in Cali soon, man. But on the flip side, let's talk about some other things, man. Like, what's interesting you, man, coming into training camp right now? Like what do you really want to see? What's intriguing you the most right now?
I know. I mean, we all had the questions about the health with Tony Pollard as well as Terrence Steele, and it is good to see that news come out that they're in there, that they're getting the work in. You know that's a good sign, and they got to get eased back into that. The other elephant in the room, everybody needs to calm down about the injuries. I mean, it's the time of year. These guys got to get their body ready to play football, man. They're going through their fight camp, getting ready. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
sir.
these injuries are going to happen. I believe Donovan has dealt with a calf injury in the past as well. So he'll be all right. I mean, they're going to rest him up. It's when you start hearing about surgeries that it becomes a problem. But these strains, like, it's normal. These guys haven't been hit with pads on in what, 6 months?
Well, let's hope it's a strain. Fingers crossed. You know what I mean? Obviously, they brought him into the tent. They checked him out, and then they sent him on the cart. But luckily, I ain't gonna say luckily because we don't know exactly, you know, what it's gonna be. But good thing it ain't like the knee or anything crazy. Like the calf muscle was like, all right, it's somewhere there. Hopefully, it ain't the Achilles or anything like that. Hopefully, it is a strain. And if it is a strain, hey man, look, put him on ice, man. You know what I mean? We need a guy like that. That's an enforcer.
Mhm.
Boy, my heart stopped beating. You know what I mean? When I seen, you know what I mean, we was just talking about this morning. I was like, man, the scariest thing about training camp is you want to see your guys just make it through. Uh, I think we one of the teams where we already know who we are. You know what I'm saying? I think if we was to line up day one, line up right now, I think we'd be ready to go. You just want to hope that we kind of fingers crossed, stay healthy, make it there, and I think we'll be all right. But man, yeah, Donovan get well soon. Obviously we'll get some more news on that soon. But yeah, hopefully he's all right. But I think your news, like you talked about, Terrence Steele. Little surprise, he's ready to go for training camp. Tony Pollard, man, he's ready to go, man. So I think we kind of alluded to that in the previous episode. We seen a little footage back scene where he was like, look, if we could play today, I would play. So it was good seeing him out there cutting, but obviously, with the deal and things like that, he didn't get the deal. But he said something that stood out to me. He was like, look, other guys ain't showing up, this, that, and third. But he was like, look, I signed a franchise tag, I'm here. And if they call it, hey, I'm a haul it. You know how he talks. So
Mm-hmm.
it had TP in there, man. Any thoughts on TP right now?
No, the TP thing, man. It's exciting because he broke his leg not that long ago, and like you said in the last episode, he mentioned he could go today if he wanted, but you don't know if that's all talk or what. And you can see him here running drills, but I think I got a lot of questions about this backfield. I'm really interested to find out what his workload will look like this season and
Right.
how much they're going to ease him into that workload. We've got what, 4 backs on the roster right now, and I don't see Ronald Jones making the roster as our power back. I just think there's better available backs out there.
Man, call me crazy, man, but I would still let her have a Zeke in the building, man. What I mean, I think if we was to look at it like not from aspect of having Zeke be the number one back, what I mean, but man, Zeke in those fourth down, third and short yardage situations, getting those touchdowns, I still think we lacking at a power back. But I mean, on the flip side of that, am interested to see how Tony functions in those situations. Because when he was available, we used Zeke in those situations. So maybe he can be that guy. Maybe we just don't know. As far as the workload, I could see it being like 75 Tony Pollard. Third down, you see Deuce Vaughn in there every once in a while. But I think drive to drive, I think you would see a little bit more of Malik Davis, and he's another guy. I'm excited about this year. But Tony Pollard, man, he looks good to go, man. He looks like he never lost a step, and I think it surprised a lot of people when they, obviously he just being hurt in that obviously that playoff game, but just to see him cutting and going through the drills, and man, he hasn't lost a step. And if TP is TP, then man, we already know what to expect day one, man. He's gonna be a beast, and what I mean, it's a good thing that he's out here day one. Has a full training camp ahead of him to get ready. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously with the new offense, the Texas coast and things like that, he'll be ready in the mix.
No, man, I'm pumped for TP this season. And speaking of the running backs, Deuce Vaughn, bro, that man is teeny tiny. He looked like Darren Sproles for real out there.
That's his guy. That's his guy, man. But Deuce Vaughn, look, he was out there. He was fielding punts today. I did see a little bit of footage of him. It's funny seeing the guy that little out there. But hey, man, it's a disadvantage for a defense to have a guy out there that's small. Me ducking behind these guys and being as elusive as he is. So that's something. When the lights come on, man, I think Deuce gonna surprise some people for sure. Not us though. I think we fully aware of his talents, but around the league, I don't think they know of Deuce, and I think he'll be quick to show people who he is.
I agree. But no, man, yeah, Tony, we expected him to be back. We didn't know he would be available for training camp right away, so that is good news. I think that he, you know, unfortunately won't end up getting a long-term deal in Dallas. I think, he'll get tagged this year and probably get tagged again next year, and then that kind of might be it for him in Dallas. So I think we got about 2 more years left of TP, man, and I hope we get the most of it.
Oh, I think we will, man. Saquon, look, he just screwed all the running backs out there. They got off a Zoom call, came back. He was like, "Look, I'm out. I'm a caveman, man." So I know Jacobs, Tony, and all those other guys. They kind of sitting back, and it didn't really do much for the market. Maybe it did something for Saquon. We don't know, but hey, look, man, we ain't gonna keep talking about the future. Say, Tony, you're here. It's good to see you back, man. That's a good sight to see. Just some things coming out. Dak looked sharp today. He
Mm-hmm.
came out slinging. You know what I mean? Looked like he had obviously he always carries that chip on his shoulder, but Dak is a sharp guy. And if anybody that's gonna be ready, it's good to see him coming out there right away. Letting it rip. You know what I mean? From everything I see, we see him wetting the net up, but the net ain't nothing. But the guy's accurate, man. Looked like he's in full command. It was good to see Cooks out there. Seen a lot of him, man, cutting up. I think the wide
Mm-hmm.
receiver group is leaps ahead of last year.
That's where. So I think it's pretty well established that wide receiver 1, 2, 3 is Lamb, Gallup, or Lamb, Cooks, and Gallup. But that it came out today. McCarthy said he's going to be trying to move, Gallup around and expanding that route tree. And I think it's about that time for Michael Gallup, to try to make that leap that way. He is under contract, and what is this? I mean, he's what? Yeah, well into year 6 now, 5 maybe. But he's been around for a
I think
minute,
it's year 6.
and it is time for that move. But I'm more curious about that wide receiver 4-5 spot, bro, because we had Simi tip that ball that got picked by Scott today, and that was
Yeah,
a very, very catchable ball.
thumbs down for Simi. Here's up play for Eric Scott. Points
Exactly.
points up to you. But yeah,
And
Simi, we can't have that, bro. Day
mm-mm.
one, not a good look.
and then I'm guessing his competition is Jalen Tolbert for that 4 spot. I'm interested to see who does come away with that.
But listen, we had a guy, Jalen Moreno Cropper. He came out today and just made plays right away. So that's a guy just to keep an eye on. We hear it every year. We got these certain guys, pet cats we like a little bit more. It used to be TJ Vasher last year. I don't know if he's back on the team or not, but he making a handful of plays. But I think
Mm-hmm.
the more important thing is when the lights come on, can we still continue to see some of the things that we're seeing? But man, shout out to him. A strong start from him today. The defense, man. Look, Stephon Gilmore. Hey, what I mean, him and that Trayvon Diggs and Gilmore duo was looking good right away. I said it before, I say it now, and I say it in the future, man. He about to do some tremendous things on that side of the ball for us.
Mm-hmm. I agree. No, and then it came out today too that Trayvon pretty much came out and said that Stephon is really taking over that mentorship role in the secondary. And I guess there was a situation where he pretty much had to tell him, like, hey, bro, why are you eating those gummies? Like, those fruit snacks. We're not doing that no more. Like, tighten up. And, like, it's cool to see that presence in the
Yeah,
locker room. That's something I don't think this secondary has had for a very long time. So I think it can be very beneficial.
yeah, it's good, man. It's good. But I think the main thing, man, today, I think the injury news just overshadowed a lot of
Right.
things that I mean, and other news we could be real happy about right now. Um, I think Mozzie, man, he came out right away. It looks explosive, strong as he is. He's gonna be a dude. He's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a dude. How crazy was it, like seeing the Madden rankings with him? They came out and he was like, what, like the 8th strongest guy as far as the defensive line group or the. So it's like we thought he was strong, but
Right.
obviously like the people behind EA, like they must know how strong he is too, man. So him on the other hand, shout out to him. I know Dan Quinn and Doorday and those guys on the defensive line. I know they're happy to get their hands on a guy like that.
What's crazy with that too, bro, is like he's quick too. Like he ain't just strong, he's quick. And
Yeah.
he's still growing. Like he's still gonna get stronger, bro. So for that to improve, man, that's gonna be crazy. Defensively, the other questions I think I have, bro, is some clarity in this linebacker room, and I'm hoping we can get some of that here in training camp.
Yeah.
Obviously, day one, we don't really know too much. The contact is gonna ramp up as training camp goes on. Um, LVE obviously is our main linebacker out here. Micah's going to split in there a bit, but Micah, you can't really call a linebacker or an edge rusher. You know what I mean? Like, we got Cox, we got Harper, we got Clark, we got Overshown. Like, who can carve out a role, or do they all carve out roles for different situations?
I think there'll be a little bit of both for real. I think Demar Clark is that guy who's going to be there for sure. And I think we got a little battle on that weak side to figure out who's gonna be that guy between Jabril Cox and Overshown and don't sleep on Devon Harper either. You know what I mean? I think
Mm-hmm.
last year he had a strong camp. Even showed out in the preseason, and obviously, I mean, different things happened throughout the season. He wasn't able to find his way, but I mean, he's another guy that I mean, don't be surprised if he comes in and make an impact. But I mean, the linebacker group may not have as much questions as we think. I mean, we have to see. But I mean, nevertheless, we got some athletes out there.
Yes.
We got guys that get sideline to sideline, a lot of speed out there. We're good, man. We got some young talent out there. We've seen Kelvin Joseph in the nickel. I mean, we talked about that. He seemed like he got some cracks at it. We talked about Eric Scott. He making plays right away. He's kind of continuing that trajectory he had. He was doing it from rookie camp to OTAs. and on the first day of training camp, he's out there making plays. So we got some battles going on, man, and I'm
Hmm.
excited about a lot of them. What's the biggest battle that you're excited to see right now by position groups?
I think it's linebacker and then tight end as well.
Ooh,
I think I know I saw today that somebody said it looked like pretty much Fergie came out and separated himself from the rest, which is expected. I think
yeah.
he's easily the best tight end on our team. We just know he had some health concerns last season. And then Schumacher, we're not going to be able to really find out too much about right away. So, I mean, Hendershot, there's a chance he doesn't even make the team if they can bring in someone else. You know what I mean? Like,
Which is crazy because Hendershot actually played good ball last year.
right. Like, but he's not a big name tight end. You know, I
Right,
mean,
right.
anything's possible here because I think they brought and I got to double check that tight end room for who the fourth guy is in there. But I mean, I do think Fergie is gonna we're gonna see him take that leap and just kind of take Schultz's role.
Which I mean, like you said, which is expected. I mean, if Schumacher not gonna be out there, it sucks for him because you know what I mean, you got a guy like that that's building that relationship with Dak. You know how Dak loves his tight end. So the fact that he's out there early, he's getting those reps and they building that.
Hmm.
Schumacher is already 2, 3 steps behind. So hopefully he's in there. No, he's in the building, but hopefully he's really getting those mental reps, getting those mental reps. But man, you gotta get on the field, man. No rush to it. The plantar fasciitis, we know it's something that you can't really rush. But it's one of those things where we aren't hearing too much about it. Obviously it's been lingering all off season, so I don't know the timetable on that, but
Hmm.
the closer and closer it gets to the season, it worries me a little bit more because what I once before thought was maybe a guy that could have had an impact, coming in certain packages, blocking, having some red zone ability. Now I'm wondering, like, will you still get those opportunities if you're far behind? Like, are you going to fall into that Jalen Tolbert trap from last year?
Right. What about you? What position group do you think you looking most forward to?
But I'm definitely interested in seeing how the wide receiver four shakes out.
Hmm.
Simi, Tolbert, obviously, and then if any of these young guys can step in, we talk about those two, but a lot of these undrafted guys we brought in a lot of talent right there, and there might be some no names. I'm just willing to see who kind of rises from the bunch. I don't really want it to be a competition where by the time preseason starts, we like sitting here still trying to figure it out. Like, is this guy's to this guy? I want to kind of know, like, all right, Toby, you're number 4 for sure, and then send
Hmm.
me your pop in, whatever. But definitely interested in that. And then I think, secondly, man, you spoke about linebacker. I think everything else is kind of set. I'm really interested in seeing like the defensive end group, and not
Yes.
mainly the starters, but we got a lot of bodies there. Dorrance Armstrong. When you think about Dante Fowler and Sam Williams, what I mean, a lot of veterans. But if we could see Sam rise above those guys, and we know those guys are solid players, what I mean, does that allow Micah to kind of move back to linebacker a little bit? You know what I mean? Or will he be out there full time and D-Law and these guys not getting a crack at it? I'm wondering like, will they get some first team reps out there? And if they are getting those first team reps, who's the first guy off the bench?
Right. Yeah. That no. And we did keep what's his name Kamara last year on the practice squad.
I
And
think he left. I think
did he?
somebody else picked him up on the practice squad. I have to look into it, but yeah, he's gone.
I'm probably off on that one, but I mean, it wouldn't be terrible if we could move off of a guy like Fowler or Armstrong because another talented person comes in there. You know what I mean? That's how you stay cheaper. So no, that's a really good thing there with the edge rusher.
Surprise player.
Surprise player
Hmm.
through training camp
Right now.
right now today.
Somebody in a couple, I say in a month or so, it'd be like, all right, yeah, he came out of nowhere, but it kind of was like unexpected, but I see where it came from. One of
Jake
those guys.
Ferguson.
Jake.
I do. I think it's him.
Okay.
He
Okay. I
got
like
he
Jake.
got the Kelsey stamp on his back, and then I think he's way more talented than Dalton Schultz was. I think athletically he's superior. Blocking wise, he doesn't have what Schultz had, and Schultz wasn't a great blocker. But I do think come the end of this season, like we're all going to be talking about Fergie.
Okay. I like Fergie. I got two guys. I think one, I think Nashon Wright is about to surprise some people, right? I think people are just talking about everything else. They talking about Kelvin Joseph. We hear about Eric Scott. We so excited to get Gilmore. Diggs got the deal, but nobody's talking about Nashon Wright. And I think kind of like he just kind of took in that, put his chip on his shoulder, big lengthy guy, who I think, man. I don't think he'll be a cut guy when it's time. And I think Nashawn Wright will surprise some people and maybe even be a player, when it's time. I could easily say McQuamo. He's one of my favorite guys out there. So I ain't even gonna mention him, but I think Chauncey Golston is another guy. We just seen him,
Hmm.
buck up, buck up. And I think Gallimore may just be a surprise cut. And I think if he's gonna get cut, I think the guy that's gonna move him, to that side, I think it's Chauncey Golston.
I think there's a strong chance Gallimore gets cut. Doesn't make the final roster. The Neshon Wright though is tricky there because who's he gonna have to outplay to get that spot and get that opportunity? You know what I mean? Like somebody.
For sure, it's boss man. I mean, it's weird because I know we was trying to make it a boss man versus CJ Godwin situation,
Mm-hmm.
but something tells me that CJ Godwin, being who he is, I think he has a spot on his team, and I think Bones Fossil loves him. I don't think he's going nowhere. I think Nashawn Wright and Kelvin Joseph. I think that's the battle because for some reason, it's something about Eric Scott that tells me that he's going to be around.
I think it's crazy because with CJ, like I think he does have that special teams role carved out, but Kelvin plays special teams and so does Nashon as well. But I mean, there's a chance. I mean, we had all three of them last season as well, and maybe Scott does take someone's spot. And I'm not opposed to moving off of Kelvin Joseph, man, after 2 years if he ain't got it. You know what I mean? Like, and you can kind of tell if he ain't got it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm glad they're giving him some chances to move around. You know what I mean? And he's out there battling. Like he got a monster to deal with. So if he ain't on Gallup, if he ain't on Cooks, he's on
Right.
CD. So listen, if he can make any plays against these guys and gain any traction, I think it could be a confidence builder for him. And for a young guy, confidence is everything. So we'll be just having to keep tabs on that, see how that play out as the offseason goes on, obviously. But hey, man, it's good, man. It's good. I'm excited, man. You know, just thinking about it, as far as everything that's going on, I think the offensive line, I think it's some good things is going on there as well. What I mean, as far as the right guard position, I think they can use Zack Martin being out as an opportunity to get a look at guys at both sides, you know what I mean? Because you know how the Cowboys like to move pieces around and things like that. So it may be a guy that playing right guard that they could look at left guard, you know what I mean, and vice versa. So it may not be a bad thing, but let's get these deals out of the way. How do you feel about Herbert getting that deal, and how do you think that affects Dak moving forward?
I think the quarterback prices are crazy, man. It doesn't really make sense, Herbert got paid, bro, and he hasn't done anything.
He got
Daniel
the
Jones
he
got
got the he got the stats.
paid.
He got
He
the
ain't done.
stats. Daniel Jones don't got scrap, but
But you know what I mean? Like,
accomplishments wise, nah.
but DJ's got a playoff win where Herbert doesn't. You know what I mean? So it's
That's
like
fair.
it's tricky. And then you go see Dak, and Dak doesn't have the most success. He had a phenomenal rookie year in
Yeah.
the playoffs. Um, the playoff success hasn't been the best, and some people compare him to like a Kirk Cousins, which is almost fair. But I mean, if he can tighten things up, man, and he is a man of his word, he came out, he said he's going to tighten up the turnovers this season, man. Then we're going to have a serious talk and figure out the right price, man. But it's hard to pay somebody top five money if they're not top five, and that's kind of what we're seeing with the running back market. I wouldn't be surprised if the quarterback market starts getting a little confusing as well.
It's crazy right now. And Jared, what I mean, being the guy that he is, obviously day one at training camp, he comes out. One of the biggest nuggets that everybody's gonna pull away is, hey, I expect Dak to cut down those interceptions, and I expect Mike McCarthy to be on them. So he
Mm-hmm.
kind of put the pressure on both guys to, what I mean, day one, like he pretty much said, like Mike, Dak,
Yeah,
y'all,
that's the
y'all,
boss.
y'all figure it out. You know what I mean? So, but Dak, I mean, he's a guy, he know how to control the media. He kind of puts the chip on his own shoulder, so I don't really think that means much to him. Mike McCarthy, I think he's feeling the pressure. I seen something that over the past week surprised me the most. So it was odds that was released, and crazy enough, they had the easy, what I would say, the not the best odds, but the worst odds, I guess you could say. First coach to get fired was Mike McCarthy. It was at the top, and I'm just like, what?
That
Like he
doesn't
was
make
over
sense.
all the coaches. I'm like, I don't think they realize, what I mean, that a guy that's put together with back-to-back 12-win seasons. In the season that he didn't, he had a hurt quarterback. Yes, he doesn't have the playoff wins, but he got these guys on the right track. So Pressure is nothing. I think both guys are, fully aware, and I think both of them ready to roll.
No, that doesn't make sense. McCarthy's not going to be the first coach to get got. There's some shittier situations around the league.
Who's at the top? But I think it was for clicks as well. You know how it go.
Right. Like I'm just already picturing Justin Herbert just got all this money, bro. And if they start the season under like 3-6, 3-5, like Staley's gonna get closer and closer to that edge, bro.
Yeah, Ron Rivera too. Like, what you think Eric Bieniemy even in the duel for? Like that, hey, he in the wings. You know what I mean? Like
That
you know,
that situation's even weirder too, because you got the new owner in town now. Like he might just be trying to clean up like everything. It's weird, man. But I mean, football's back, bro. Training camp. We're so close to the Hall of Fame game, man. We're not that far out from watching the pads on Sunday night, Monday night, bro.
man, knock on some wood, man. Look, Donovan, hey, get well, bro. Hopefully we can keep that limited, man. Obviously, look, we didn't got fined, the past off season for being a little too physical. So I think they know. But like you said, it's like these soft tissue injuries. You know what I mean? I think just kind of getting back in the flow of things is
Right.
it's something to be aware of, man. And I think if anything, it's something that we generally do well with as far as like resting our guys, knowing when to rest. I give Mike McCarthy that. So I think we'll be good. Got some good news. We got some guys back in the building. Hopefully we get back Zach soon. I think we'll probably hear something next week or so. I don't think they'll let it drag out too much. But you know what I mean? My first day success. I think we'll be back soon, man. We're gonna pick up the schedule a little bit. We finally got some news, man.
Right.
So we'll pick it up and at the end of the day, make sure y'all hit that like, share, subscribe, tune in, hit us in the DM and all that good stuff.